What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. I got a quick video for you guys tonight. I really think you're gonna like this one. Okay, I'm going to ask you to join me on this challenge that I'm doing. Okay, I'm calling it the Backlog Challenge. Now, if you follow me on Twitch, then you probably saw my episode of the Gamer's Perspective podcast live where I spoke about this challenge and how I came about this if you listen to that podcast. I also have the podcast up on YouTube now, so if you want to watch it, it's on there as well. But if you ever want to catch the Gamer Perspective podcast live, just follow me on Twitch. You got to put on notifications because I don't have a set schedule as to when I go live. It's just whenever I have time and whenever I have something that I really want to just freestyle and go off the top of my head about, right? I mean, well, all my videos are freestyled anyways, but still. But that's like a live stream of conscious that you can see how I'm thinking. Anyways, what I want to do now is just simplify that entire podcast if you don't want to go ahead and watch it, right? So the backlog challenge is basically a challenge from me to you, you to me, gamer to gamer, whatever you want to call it, to hold us accountable to play our back catalog. Now, there's rules to this, okay? The reason I'm doing this is for my own reasons, but if you want to do this as well, I'm going to give you the rules and then you got to figure out what reason you have to do this yourself. Again, go watch the podcast if you want to see the reason that I'm doing this. But these are the rules, okay? You can pick whatever system it is that you want to go ahead and attack the back catalog on, whether it's your PlayStation 5, your Xbox catalog, your Steam catalog. I'm using my Steam catalog. That's what I want to tackle. So I have 76 games on Steam, and I want to finish that back catalog. So these are the rules, okay? On whatever system you're doing this on, you are only allowed to have 2 games downloaded, okay? The first game is going to be the game that you're mainly playing, which is part of the back catalog. And the second game is only one. Again, you got to pick only one multiplayer game. And that multiplayer game is only going to serve the purpose of when you just need maybe a slight break from the game that you're currently playing, but only one multiplayer game. Not two, not three, not four, because sometimes you'll jump from multiplayer to multiplayer to multiplayer. Remember, the goal is to finish this back catalog, okay? Okay, now, rules in order to move on from a game are simple. The first rule is this: if you turn on a game, okay, and for whatever reason the game doesn't launch right, the game is not working, or the game is having some technical issues, remember, you got a back catalog. You don't got to deal with none of this BS. You could go ahead and move on. Now, that rule mostly is going to fall with PC gamers, because on consoles, for the most part, you launch the game is going to run. Okay. On PC, though, this literally happened to me. Assassin's Creed, the very first one, was the first game that I was going to play on Steam. If you listen to the podcast, you'll hear me say, okay, I launched Assassin's Creed and it wouldn't run on Steam. I looked it up. What's going on? What's happening? Apparently, Assassin's Creed is like runs on an old Windows system, and there's different things that you got to do. You got to go into properties. No, we're not doing any of that. So that's a reason to go ahead, boom, move from the game. If the game doesn't run right and you got to do all kinds of crazy stuff and go into files or running compatibility mode, we're not doing none of that. You got a back catalog. Move on to the next game. Okay, so that's the first way that you could go ahead and move on to the next game. The second way you can move on from one game is very simple. You finished it. If you finish the game, you could go ahead and move on from that game. Okay, you beat the game, you go ahead and move on, right? The third way you can move on from the game is if you play the game for at least an hour. An hour. I have the firm belief that within an hour of you playing a game, you should know whether or not you want to continue spending time into that game. Remember, it's your back catalog. Nobody's going to judge you. You played the game for an hour, and after an hour, you were like, nah, this is not a game for me. Maybe when you bought it, you thought that you were going to like that game. See, that's another thing about back catalogs. Typically, your back catalog is going to be filled with games that you saw that were on sale or something like that, or games that you bought that interested you. So there was already a level of interest in your back catalog, okay? Unless most of your back catalog is filled with just like PS Plus games or Xbox free games or Epic games that are free, then that's going to be a rough catalog because you might run a lot of games that you're not going to like. But again, at least an hour. You run the game for at least an hour. play it, see if you like it, and if you don't, then go ahead. You could go ahead and move on from it. All right. Another way you can move on from a game is if the controls are too outdated. Now, for this one, I'm gonna believe in you. I'm gonna believe that you're gonna be honest. I'll give you an example. Okay. One of my favorite games ever is Perfect Dark. Okay. However, I cannot play Perfect Dark on modern controls. I just can't. I wish they would redo the controllers for Perfect Dark. If somebody knows a mod or something like that so I could play it better, I did please let me know because I can't do it. On the Nintendo 64 controller, I can do it, right? With the C buttons and everything, that's fine. But with these new controllers, for the life of me, I can't play Perfect Dark, and it's literally my favorite game, right? So that game I would play. The controls are too outdated. I would move on. I'll give you another one. I played Dead Space Remake. The game ran phenomenal. I went ahead and tried to play the very first Dead Space, the original one, and already the controls are a little iffy. Not it's not as bad, but just I tried it and it felt a little iffy, right? But that's another way. If you try it and the controls just did not age well, and you're gonna be frustrated playing it, go ahead. You can move on to the next game, all right? Another way you can move on to the next game as well is if you're playing the game and at any point throughout the game you legitimately get bored, meaning it becomes a burden to play the game. If that happens, it becomes a burden to play the game, boom, go ahead, you move on to the next game, all right? And then what's the last one? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's everything you got to do. So play it for at least an hour. Well, first it's got to launch. If the game launches, good. If it doesn't launch, move on. Okay. Play it for at least an hour. Okay. Beat the game. You can move on. Okay. Let's see. If the controls are not up to par or whatever, you can move on. Okay. Once you beat the game, right? Did I say beat the game already? I did, right? Yeah. You guys saw the video, okay? I'm confusing myself. Here's the whole point, though, okay? You cannot buy, listen to me, you cannot buy or download another game until you finish your backlog. Again, I'm gonna say it again. I don't care how great the sale is, it doesn't matter. You cannot buy or download another game until you finish your backlog. And what I mean download another game, I'm talking about like if you're a Game Pass subscriber. Nope. Go through your owned backlog first and then go that way. I had somebody already say to me like, I can do it, Doc, except for when GTA 6 drops. I am going to buy that game and I am going to be playing it. Well, hopefully you run through your backlog a little bit faster than when GTA 6 drops. Hopefully. We'll see. But I think this is going to be good. The reason I did this is because I saw myself constantly going to play a game on Steam, right? And then constantly going to the store to look at sales when I have 70 something games or probably like 60 something games that I still haven't played on Steam. And these are games that I bought because I was interested in them and I wanted to play them. And I find myself playing other stuff. And then with Game Pass, that extends my backlog even more. So it doesn't even make sense. I'm cool. I'm going to run through these games and go from there. However you want to arrange the games is up to you. I arranged my games in alphabetical order. So Assassin's Creed, like I said, that was the first one. And it didn't run. So I got lucky. I got to move on to the next one. And now I'm playing Banishers. Yo, here's another thing too. Some of you guys have a backlog of games that you have already beat on another platform. Okay? That one I'm going to leave up to you. So Assassin's Creed, for me, I have already beaten it. I beat that on Uplay a while ago. So I've already beaten the first Assassin's Creed, but I saw it on Steam. I think it was on sale for like $5. I bought it. I didn't know that it had this issue. But I'm okay not playing it again. I'm all right. So moving on. But now I'm playing Banishers Ghost of Eden, I think it's called. Oh my God, what a game so far. This game so far is really good, and I'm happy that I'm actually doing it because I'm actually doing this because if it wasn't for this challenge, I knew it was a good game and people recommended it to me saying that I would like it. Somebody actually gifted it to me. Shout out to you. And they were right. I actually like the game so far. But I don't know if I would have ever actually gone and pressed play on it. Somebody also gifted me Mad Max and they told me, hey, you got to play Mad Max, but that's all the way down at the ends. All right. So again, the backlog challenge. Come join me. You can't buy another game. You can't download another game. and you can only have 2 games downloaded on your console or on your PC or on whatever platform it is that you're playing. And that's going to be the main game that you're playing, and that's going to be the multiplayer game. So that means every single time you sit down and you say you want a game, you've committed to this challenge. You know exactly what you're going to play. That's going to help you with anxiety as to I don't know what to play. That's going to help you with a lot of stuff. And then again, no one can fault you for moving on from a game. Again, you play the game give the game at least an hour. If the controls are fine and the game launches, give the game at least an hour, and then you can be like, okay, I'm gonna keep playing this. And then as soon if you do get bored of the game, boom, just move on to the next one. But what you don't want to have is games in your backlog that you liked, you enjoyed, and you stopped playing because something else came out. And no. We're gonna finish our backlog. Come join me, the backlog challenge. If you want to add some things to this or whatever, go ahead, leave a comment downstairs, and yeah, we'll see. Let's let the community decide. I think this is gonna be phenomenal. I think this is gonna be great. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to run through my backlog. Now I do have some games that I'm like, man, am I really gonna play all the Just Causes? Because I got them all. Metro Exodus, I got those. I got all of those too. Those seem cool though. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to play all the Batman Arkham series. That'll be next after Banisher. Batman Asylum, Batman Origins, Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Knight. I've never played that one, so I have all of those on Steam. I am excited to play all of those. I played Batman. I actually beat the first 3. I haven't played Arkham Knight. That's the only one I haven't played. What else I got? Uncharted, which is one of my favorite series. I got Uncharted 4 on PC. I haven't played that yet. Yeah, there's a lot of things in my backlog of games that I want to play that I just haven't played, and I know I'm not the only one. I know you're in the same boat. Let's do it. The holiday season's about to come up. A lot of you guys are about to have a lot more time off and everything. Let's take this challenge. You gotta save money for Christmas anyways, so don't spend money on yourself buying games. Just chill. If somebody buys you a game, gets you a game, that's a little bit different, right? But for you, nah, and you're down. Get rid. I don't care how big your SSD is. I don't care how big your hard drive is. Get rid of everything. Get rid of everything. 2 games. That's it. So whenever you start your platform, you're only playing 2 games. All right. Let me know what you guys think. Dog 1985. There's levels to this. The backlog challenge. We out. Peace.